Happy Turkey Day.
Hi, one more time. You've heard a lot of stories today, and I have some story in my life that actually changed my life. And now I'm going to tell it to you. And if you don't want your life to be changed, please close your ears. At least for the last 3 minutes, because the last 3 minutes is more important. Okay, this story happened to me this summer, when I had decided to go to the forest with my friends. Because we have special tradition to spend at least one day of the year in the forest, and even we have special place that is in western Ukraine, near the village where Anna Akhmatova lived. No, it's Lubyka Shalakivska. Near that village, there's a special place that was owned by ancient Ukrainian oligarch. It means pan in Ukrainian language. And there's a big forest there, there's a garden there, there's a lake there, and there's a big old house there. At first, we needed to get some food. That's why we went to the supermarket. And we were so hungry that we bought so much food that we could live in the forest for 1 month, despite the fact that we went here only for 1 day. So we get all our stuff in the car and drive there. The further we were driving, the worse the road gets. And when we made the last turn, the road was so narrow that I was afraid to scratch my car. So we were driving so slowly. When we almost got to our destination, we got out of the car to check the road, because our destination was in the forest, and our car is quite city car. That's why we got out of the car and went further by our foot. We went further and we observed several men fixing the big house. So we came there and asked them, what is going to be there? And they said that this house is bought by Kiev modern oligarchs, and they are going to make here a private resort. And it would be a very expensive resort, not for you guys. Yeah, we look at each other, and actually, yeah, we were dressed in old clothes because we were going to go to forest. Then we got back to the car and we slowly drove near this man on the car. When we got to our destination, we got our stuff out of the car and we erected tent, we cleaned some place for fire, and we go to the woods to get some firewood. We find big wooden logs. So we took it and we carried it to our camp, like Arnold Schwarzenegger in the movie Commandos. I was very proud to myself, and I even have a photo with the wooden log. Then we were preparing fire and started to cook some meal. But then, accidentally, I started to feel myself bad. I don't know what it was, but my head started aching and I was sick. And I don't know what's happening. And I thought to myself, probably it's because I don't wear a hat during the day and it was sun strike or probably heat strike or something else. And slowly I got worse. Then I got in the car and I was just lying in the back seat of the car. I was thinking to myself further, what's the reason for this? And then I realized probably the reason is that at that time I didn't have a job. I was quarreling with my parents. I was worrying about my future life, so constantly, probably every hour I was thinking about this stuff, and because of this worrying, I got so bad. So I was lying on the back seat, and my friends were coming to me and they were asking me, oh, how are you doing, how are you doing? I said, I'm okay. And we didn't have any medication for this because we had only brilliant green and some bandages, but we didn't have any bullets to fix me. So I was lying there and thinking to myself, so is it the end? Is it how my life is going to end? If I'm going to die right now? And I was thinking to myself that if I'm going to die right now, then all the worries that I worried is useless, because I will not have any future, I should not work if I'm dead, and I will not quarrel with anybody if I'm dead. So I thought to myself that worrying is so useless stuff that I should not worry anymore. And I was thinking to myself that if I ever gonna survive, I would not worry anymore in the future. Then several hours later, I got better. I got back to the fire, we were cooking some meal, it was so interesting. Then we went back to the tent and we were going to sleep. And it's so good to sleep in the forest because you hear the birds singing, you hear some different sounds, and you are first a bit afraid of some frightening sounds outside. Next morning, we woke up and we were going swimming, sunbathing, fishing and so on, and it was time to get back home. So we packed our things back into car, we looked at this place, and it was so empty without all the stuff that we have there, and then we got back home. And from that moment, every time I worry, I remind myself that you shouldn't worry, because if you worry, you're gonna die, because worrying is killing you. And I want to tell you that if you worry about something or if you feel bad, it's okay, because you're gonna die anyway. Actually, I'm kidding. I remind myself that our life is not that we are taken for granted. I mean that our life could end any time that we didn't even suspect. So, I want to say that don't worry, be happy.